Welcome to the Stanley Cup Playoff Buzz, a daily look at the races for the 2022 NHL postseason. There are 19 days left in the regular season, and the races in each of the four divisions are tight. The top three teams in each of the four divisions, and the next two highest-placed finishers in each conference reach the playoffs. Here is a look at the NHL standings and everything else that could impact the playoff picture. On tap. There are 3 games on the schedule Wednesday, all with playoff implications. New York Rangers at Philadelphia Flyers. The Rangers can move within 2 points of the Carolina Hurricanes for first place in the Metropolitan Division after losing to them 4-2 on Tuesday. Rangers forward Chris Kreider has 50 goals, third in the NHL behind Austin Matthews of the Toronto Maple Leafs and Leon Draisaitl of the Edmonton Oilers, including 3 in his past 2 games. Andrew Copp has 12 points in 11 games since the Rangers acquired the forward in a trade with the Winnipeg Jets on March 21st. The Flyers lost 9-2 to the Washington Capitals on Tuesday, are 2-7-0 in their past 9 games, and have been eliminated from playoff contention. Montreal Canadiens at Columbus Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets, 2-5-3 in their past 10, will be eliminated from playoff contention if they do not defeat the Canadiens in regulation. Cole Caulfield has scored 30 points in 28 games since the Canadiens hired Martin St. Louis as coach February 9th, after scoring 8 points in 30 games beforehand. Montreal is 12-12-4 under St. Louis, but 2-5-1 in its past 8 games, and has been eliminated from playoff contention. Los Angeles Kings at Colorado Avalanche. The Avalanche have a chance to extend their winning streak to 7 games, set a franchise record with their 53rd win of the season, and reclaim the lead in the President's Trophy race. With 110 points, they are tied with the Florida Panthers atop the NHL standings, and have an 11-point lead over the Calgary Flames in the Western Conference. The Kings can tie the Edmonton Oilers for second in the Pacific Division, and pad their cushion over the Vegas Golden Knights, who are 4th in the Pacific, 3 points behind. Los Angeles had lost 3 in a row in regulation before defeating the Chicago Blackhawks 5-2 on Tuesday. If playoffs started Wednesday. Here is a look at the matchups for the first round as they stand entering games Wednesday. Eastern Conference. Florida Panthers vs. Washington Capitals. Carolina Hurricanes vs. Boston Bruins. Toronto Maple Leafs vs. Tampa Bay Lightning. New York Rangers vs. Pittsburgh Penguins. Western Conference. Colorado Avalanche vs. Dallas Stars. Calgary Flames vs. Nashville Predators. Minnesota Wild vs. St. Louis Blues. Edmonton Oilers vs. Los Angeles Kings. About last night. There were 14 games Tuesday, 12 with playoff implications. St. Louis Blues 4, Boston Bruins 2. The Blues extended their point streak to 9 games and remain tied for second place in the Central Division with the Minnesota Wild. The Bruins lost for the 3rd time in 4 games and remained 1 point behind the Tampa Bay Lightning for 3rd in the Atlantic Division. Boston holds the first wild card into the Stanley Cup playoffs from the Eastern Conference. Torrey Krug had a goal and an assist for St. Louis in his first game in Boston since leaving as a free agent October 9, 2020. Buffalo Sabres 5, Toronto Maple Leafs 2. The Maple Leafs lost in regulation for the first time in 9 games and failed to pad their 4-point lead on the Lightning for second in the Atlantic. Austin Matthews didn't score a point for Toronto for the first time in 17 games after scoring 31 points during a 16-game point streak. Owen Power, the number 1 pick in the 2021 NHL Draft, was +2 in 1928 of ice time in his NHL debut for Buffalo, which has been eliminated from playoff contention. Florida Panthers 3, Anaheim Ducks 2. The Panthers won their 8th straight game and extended their lead in the Atlantic to 10 points over the second-place Maple Leafs when Jonathan Huberdeau scored a .341 of overtime. They have 11 OT wins, 1 short of the NHL record. Anthony Duclair scored twice for Florida. John Gibson set an Anaheim record with 52 saves, but lost his 13th straight start. The Ducks have been eliminated from playoff contention. Carolina Hurricanes 4, New York Rangers 2. The Hurricanes extended their Metropolitan Division lead to 4 points over the second-place Rangers. The top line of Sebastian Aho, Seth Jarvis and Andrei Svechnikov combined for 7 points, and Frederik Andersen made 28 saves for Carolina, which won for the third time in 4 games. Chris Kreider scored his 50th goal of the season for the Rangers, who lost for the first time in 4 games. Washington Capitals 9, Philadelphia Flyers 2. The Capitals moved within 3 points of the Pittsburgh Penguins for third in the Metro, and 3 points of the Bruins for the first wild card into the playoffs from the East with their 4th straight win. Alex Ovechkin scored his 46th goal of the season for Washington. The Flyers have been eliminated from playoff contention. New York Islanders 5, Pittsburgh Penguins 4. The Penguins moved within 5 points of the Rangers for second place in the Metro by earning a point with a shootout loss, though they lost for the 5th time in 6 games. Jake Guentzel had 2 goals and an assist for Pittsburgh. Zach Paris and Josh Bailey each scored twice, and Ilya Sorokin made an NHL career-high 43 saves for the Islanders, who remained 15 points behind the Capitals for the second wild card from the East. Minnesota Wild 5, Edmonton Oilers 1. The Wild remained tied for second in the Central with the Blues, and the Oilers had their cushion over the Los Angeles Kings for second in the Pacific Division dropped to 2 points. Kevin Fiala and Ryan Hartman each scored twice for Minnesota, which is 11-1-2 in its past 14 games. Leon Draisaitl AITL scored his NHL career-high 51st goal for Edmonton, which has lost 2 straight. Nashville Predators 1, San Jose Sharks 0. The Predators remained 1 point ahead of the Dallas Stars for the first wild card from the West when Ryan Johansson scored with 1:42 left in overtime. Jus Saros made 25 saves for his 4th shutout of the season. Kaapo Kähkönen made 40 saves for the Sharks, who have lost 7 straight, and are 20 points behind the Stars for the second wild card. Los Angeles Kings 5, Chicago Blackhawks 2. The Kings moved within 2 points of the Oilers for second in the Pacific. Blake Lizotte scored 2 goals for Los Angeles, which had lost 3 in a row in regulation. Chicago has lost 8 straight and been eliminated from playoff contention. Calgary Flames 5, Seattle Kraken 3. The Flames extended their lead to 9 points in the Pacific over the Oilers by rallying from down 3-1 in the 3rd period and winning their 5th straight. Matthew Tkachuk had a hat trick for Calgary. Matty Beniers, the number 2 pick in the 2021 NHL Draft, had an assist in 17:10 of ice time in his NHL debut for Seattle, which has been eliminated from playoff contention. Dallas Stars 1, Tampa Bay Lightning 0. The Stars padded their cushion to 3 points over the Vegas Golden Knights for the second wild card from the West and remained 1 point behind the Predators for the first wild card. Roope Hintz scored and Scott Wedgwood made 24 saves for Dallas, which is 6-2-1 in its past 9 games. Tampa Bay is 1-3-2 in its past 6 and remained third in the Atlantic, 4 points behind Toronto for second and 1 point ahead of Boston. Vancouver Canucks 5, Vegas Golden Knights 4. The Golden Knights fell 3 points behind the Kings for third in the Pacific and 3 points behind the Stars for the second wild card from the West. Shea Theodore helped Vegas earn a point by tying the game 4-4 with 42 seconds left in the 3rd period, but Quinn Hughes scored 51 seconds into overtime for Vancouver. Vegas is 6-1-1 in its past 8 games, with the 2 losses to Vancouver, which is 6 points behind Dallas. Golden Knights captain Mark Stone returned after missing 26 games with a back injury, and was -1 with 3 shots on goal in 17:17 of ice time.